Welcome to Kristas Herbarium. I'm Krista and we're here for another herbal workshop. Today we're going to be making healing herbal salve. This salve is probably the most important thing that I make, and it should be in everyone's first aid kit. It's a powerhouse at healing wounds. Several years ago I had some very severe burns on my leg, and I hesitated to use what the doctor gave me. It smelled like petroleum, it had a really funny color, and instead, intuitively, I chose to use this healing salve on my leg, and the results were dramatic. So let's get started and make this together. So today, for making the salve, you're going to need a pot and a wooden spoon. Please make sure it's wooden. You'll need a bowl, because everyone needs a bowl from time to time. You'll need a clean, sterilized, empty jar. You'll need some beeswax. You'll need some oils. These are infused oils, and you can watch further videos to see how to make these infused oils. Today we're going to be using two types of comfrey root and comfrey leaf. We're going to be using calendula oil, plantain oil, and St. John's wort oil. These are all infused into olive oil. You'll also need cup measure and a strainer. You'll need some lavender essential oils, some paper towels, and a pot of boiling water. Making a salve is super simple. The first part is making sure you have your herbal infused oils. How to make an herbal infused oil I'll be showing in a different video. But once you have these, then making a salve takes just a moment. First thing you need to do is make a water bath, because you need the heating of the salve, or the oils, you need the heating of the oils to be done at a consistent temperature. So get your water up to a bit of a boil and then let it cool. Keep it on very low heat, and you've got your salve making pot and spoon laid into the water bath to heat up. While that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start straining my oils. So it doesn't matter what order you put the oils in, as long as you follow this simple method. 1 part oil to 1/4 part beeswax. So I'm using a lot of different oils here, so I have to part them out. Each one of these is going to get 1 part, and we're using 1 part beeswax for this recipe. But the recipe and the recipe for all of my different products are on my website, kristasherbarium.com. So I'm just pouring in now comfrey root, and I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of comfrey root, and I'm going to put in comfrey leaf and flower oil, filling up to a total of 1 cup, so 1/2 cup each. And this goes directly into my pot. So now I'm going to add St. John's wort and a 1/2 cup of that. Oh, and now I found a use for my bowl. Yay! And plantain oil, another 1/2 cup, to make another cup of oil. And oh wow, I overfilled it. Oh no! There we go. Well, that was messier than I'd hoped. And calendula. You're not an herbalist unless you're making a mess. And a 1/2 cup of calendula. Okay, great. So this goes again in here, and now we're going to add the beeswax. Okay, so now we're adding beeswax. Remember, our formula for this one is 1 part of each thing. So we've done a 1/2 cup for each oil, so we're going to do a 1/2 cup of beeswax. Now, in winter, I use a little less beeswax because I don't want the salve too hard. In summer, I use a little more because I don't want the salve too runny. This is where you get to kind of experiment and do it personally. So I'm putting in now a little less than 1/2 cup for my own personal preference. So now we are going to stir this oil. So I'm stirring the beeswax in order to incorporate it fully into the olive oil. Be mindful as you are managing your heat here in the water bath that you don't turn the heat up too high. Keep it at low, because you don't want any water to get into your oil, as it could make the oil go rancid. So be mindful of that. This will take a few minutes for it to incorporate, and once it's incorporated, we'll head to the next step. So you see now that the beeswax is fully incorporated into the olive oil. It's melted completely. So now we remove it from the heat onto a paper towel or another kind of towel in order for the towel to absorb any residual water that's on the pan, because again, we don't want water and oil mixing at all. And now it's time to add our essential oils. We're adding now the lavender essential oil into our salve. And we're doing 25 drops per cup. So we've got 2.5 cups here. So we're going to do about 50, 60 drops. You can't mess this stuff up. That's the beautiful part with herbalism. Making your own medicinal preparations at home in your kitchen. It's like you don't have to be a scientist. You just have to have some passion, have some plants, and want to help people. So the final step, you guys, we're putting our salve into a clean, sterilized jar. So we'll just pour it in there. Another way that you can keep your salves is in little plastic containers if you want to use them for on the go. So I'll give a little salve here. I keep my salves in brown containers, plastic or glass. Glass is much better, in order for the salve not to degrade due to sunlight. Another important aspect of making your salves is to label them properly, so you remember what it is. This is the Healing Herbal Salve, and I always put in an ingredients list as well, so that everyone who uses this knows what they're doing and what herbs are in. So we'll pop this on as well, and we'll let it cool and harden. See you in a moment. So as the salve cools, it hardens due to the beeswax. So we can see that our small one is already hardened. The big one will take a little while longer. I'm applying the label to the small one and we're ready to go. Healing salve is complete. So I wish for you that all your wounds would be healed and that you would enjoy nature and plants with respect and the knowledge that they are our medicine. See you next time. Bye-bye.